Tulsa World Meteorologist Kirsten Lang. Let's talk about the possibility for some freezing rain here across the area. You know, the winter weather advisory has gone out. It is effective from Sunday at 6 p.m. through Monday at lunchtime. And with that, we're going to be looking at the possibility of seeing up to 1/4 inch of ice accumulation as we head throughout the overnight hours and into the early morning hours of Monday. All right, so what does that mean? That freezing rain, again, that's the possibility we're looking at. Timing Sunday night through midday. 1/4 inch of ice possible. All right, so that means that travel becomes difficult. It doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to be seeing power outages across the area, and really I don't expect a bunch of tree branches to fall down from that type of accumulation, but it does make for some difficult travel, and so that could be impacting the Monday morning commute. Also, with this whole system, I want to stress too that the highest amounts of ice accumulation really consistently have been showing up as possibly coming in Arkansas. Central Arkansas, northwestern Arkansas, and even just a little bit south of Tulsa, south that I-40 corridor. We may see a few areas there where they could see higher amounts totaling closer to about 1/2 inch. And that 1/2 inch of ice accumulation, that really makes a difference too with possibly some power outages. So those areas need to be a little bit more, I think, aware of what is going on, not to belittle what we have happening here, but 1/2 inch of ice accumulation is much, much more than 1/4 inch. And while it doesn't seem like we're talking about a lot, when it comes to ice, it's definitely a lot. So let's walk through a futurecast and show you what's happening. I do also want to talk about the fact that these model runs have varied just a bit on kind of the timing and then also how much we may see in Tulsa specifically, because Tulsa is kind of right on the outer edge of this system. So this is showing Sunday night at about 7 p.m. We may at that point be seeing some of this precipitation moving in. I will say temperatures have stayed lower than first forecasted with all this cloud coverage today. So we'll be looking for those temperatures to stay below freezing. So any precip that comes in at this point, expect it to be freezing rain, because here in Tulsa we are not above freezing. All right, so we'll be watching then going through about that 9 to 10 p.m. hour, 11 o'clock. This model is showing a pretty significant amount of moisture that would be moving through then at that point. So we'll see that freezing rain kind of spreading towards the east and heading towards the state line there with Arkansas. But then this kind of shows a break through most of the evening with just some little patchy areas there of some precipitation that moves through. And then going into the mid-morning hours of Monday, it kind of brings up more moisture. But at that point, temperatures are expected to be above freezing, which means it would be just a cold rain. The other thing you may be wondering is, if we're below freezing, why is this not snowfall? Why is this freezing rain instead? Well, that is because we have higher up in the atmosphere, we have this little wedge of some warm air, so it's actually falling through the atmosphere mostly as rain, but then right on contact it freezes, which to me is the messiest of all precipitations, because then it just freezes as ice and turns into a skating rink out there on the roads and just causes a huge mess. So that's kind of the setup that we have here, and that's why we'll be looking for the possibility of freezing rain versus snowfall, but then also heading into Monday while we start to see those temperatures warm and then again they get above freezing, it's just going to be a cold rain for us. And really for the rest of the week, we'll be looking at the possibility of seeing some rainfall pretty much every day. So you'll see that here on our 7-day planner. Today's highs, it says 33. Honestly, we'd be lucky to hit 33 because those temps have been a little bit cool, like I said, with the cloud coverage. But then going into the early morning hours there of Monday, seeing some of that wintry mix, really, more of that freezing rain, then changing over to rainfall by mid-morning, heading into the afternoon. Highs getting up to about 39 on Monday. We'll look for 47 on Tuesday. Look at these warmer temperatures. So much nicer than what we had last week. Finally getting some of that cooler air out of here, and temperatures are finally getting back up even above average, because average for this time of year is closer to that 50-degree mark. So we'll be looking for those low to mid-50s by Wednesday through Friday of next week.